Yeah. Oh, Helen's got her cap on. I want you to think what question you still have about the moon. About 20 seconds. What's something you're still wondering about the moon? Louie, move your magnet up. You're thinking. All right, we're going to do stand up, hand up, pair up. So let's see people standing up behind their chairs. We are only going to pair up with one partner. The partner has to be somebody that is not in your group. I like how I still have Caitlin's eyes. Whenever you partner up, I want you to look at me before you begin speaking. Find a partner. Stand up, hand up, pair up. You two girls, magnets up. Great kids of character, following all of our pillars. Partner closest to the window. You're going to share first your question you still have about the moon. You have 10 seconds to share, and then I will switch to partner closest to the lockers. Please get in your sharing positions just like Caitlin and Carly. Let's see that. All right, partner A, you may go first. 10 seconds.
Why is
Partner B's turn.
Something you still want to know about the moon. How can it glow?
Okay, how can it grow? What's your question?
Does it glow and how it rotates?
How it rotates.
Floats.
Okay.
It floats.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
I want it.
Tell your partner, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
And please return to your seats.
I was right by myself. I was right at my seat. I know. I was already at my seat. I know. I was too.
Okay, first grade. I was talking with another teacher and didn't get a chance to hear some of your questions, so we're going to share just a few again. I'm going to hit my student selector. Student number 1, please stand up. You can say a question you had or your partner had. Spencer, let's hear a question.
How does it get the holes?
How does it get holes in it? Thank you, Spencer. Carly. How does it shine? Lucas.
How does it make you go in there when you jump?
How does it make you go in the air when you jump?
Like zero
Okay.
gravity. Space.
Well, yeah, up in space. Let's hear Caitlin's question.
How far is it away from
How far is it away from the Earth? Wow, we have some great questions that we might need to do some research to answer them.
I have a really
Well, let's keep our focus today. Throughout the week and next week, we will be talking more about the moon. Can I have your voices off for a moment? We will be talking more about the moon. Today, let's focus on our objective. We're going to first of all examine the phases of the moon. So, I have a short little video clip, and it's going to explain a little bit about the moon, and we might actually answer some of your questions. So the lights person, will you get the lights?
Whose lights?
And let's look exactly like Landon. Great kid of
It says in the
character.
little small thing, it has the thing. Safe. Don't
We
say.
will, just, I'm not sure, okay. I want you to think, because I am going to ask you something you learned. Can I have everybody on their bottoms, please? Your bottom in your chair. Thank you.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm the moon. You may have noticed me in the sky. Sometimes I look like this. Other times I look like this. These are called phases of the moon. Now, why in the world do I go through phases? Well, it all has to do with light and shadows. When I look at you guys down on Earth, it looks to me like you have phases too. The day side of the Earth is light, and the night side of the Earth is dark. But since we're moving through space, I see different parts of you in the light and in the dark. So it looks like phases to me. I call this one the first quarter Earth, and this is the gibbous Earth. And here's a real picture from space of the crescent Earth. Isn't it beautiful? Well, now let's get back to me. You see my day and night just like I see yours. The only difference is that my day is a lot longer than yours. One day on the moon is 28 Earth days long. So when you see a little tip of my day, it's called the waxing crescent. Waxing means growing, because you're seeing more and more light. The next phase is the first quarter. Quarter means a fourth. So why don't I look like this? Well, it doesn't mean the sun is shining on a fourth of me. It means we're 1/4 of the way through the cycle. After the first quarter comes the waxing gibbous. You remember that waxing means growing. But what does gibbous mean? It doesn't have anything to do with a gibbon. Actually, the word gibbous comes from Latin, which is the language the Romans spoke. A gibbous was a hump. So you can see the light on me kind of looks like a hump, not like a gibbon. Now, for my favorite phase, the full moon. People believe all sorts of funny things about the full moon, like the kids go crazy during a full moon, or that werewolves and vampires come out. But those things are just not true, people. Don't believe them. Next comes the waning gibbous. Remember, gibbous means hump. Waning means shrinking, because now you're starting to see more and more of my night. After that comes the last quarter. We are now 3/4 done with the cycle. This phase is called the waning crescent. Remember, waning means shrinking, because we're seeing less and less of my daylight side and more of my night side. Finally, when you only see my night side, this is called the new moon, because we're starting the cycle all over again.
Okay, so in this video, it talked about the phases of the moon. Sometimes they called it the cycles of the moon. Okay, right now, think about something you learned. Carter's got his thinking cap on. Something you learned. If you learned one thing, that's fine. If you learned more than one thing, that's awesome. Please jot down on your board, marker, and eraser something that you learned.
Write down or draw.
I say jot, that means write, and our voices are still off. Go ahead and write. Okay. Write one thing you learned. Thumb up when you have something down. Put your thumb up when you're finished, please. We are going to do round robin and share with our group. Landon, which number in our group should go first? Number 3. If you're number 3, you'll go first. And then we'll go around clockwise like normal. Number 3, raise your hand. And you may share. When your whole group is done, stand up. Go. Phases. Yes. Not like your face, but phases. Like is the whole moon. And I'll know you're done when you're standing up. I'll know you're done when your whole group is standing. I can tell the zebras are finished sharing because they're standing. Oh, that's okay. Just share what you were going to say. The moon shines. Okay. Is this group finished? So you should be standing. It doesn't matter if you don't have it all completely written out. Did you already share? Did you two share? Okay, what does yours say now? Okay. I was walking around first grade and I saw you learned a lot about the phases of the moon. But to me it's a little hard to understand the phases without seeing it all in a row. So you may have a seat. Please go ahead and put your boards, markers, and erasers away. We do not need them anymore. That was just to help us gather our thoughts. And Carter is finished. He can move his magnet up. Put your eyes on the board, and this will explain the phases of the moon. It will show a calendar of what the moon looks like.
Tuesday's supposed to be really small.
So if you notice, this isn't showing our month right now, but this is just an example of the phases of the moon. So here it starts out, and what do you notice? Is it getting bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
Bigger. Does anybody remember what that is called when it starts getting bigger and bigger?
New moon.
Oh, there will be a new moon eventually.
Tonight?
Not necessarily
Come
tonight.
on, Carter. We're not talking about April 15th. Tonight.
If you look over here, it says waxing means growing. So what means growing?
Oreo cookies.
Yes. What means growing, Caitlin? Waxing. So right now, this is called a waxing crescent. It is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then you start seeing it continue to grow. And here we have a full moon finally when it's all lit up. Then what do you notice it starts to do? Shrinks, and we call that waning. It's getting smaller and smaller.
Whoa, that's huge.
So, if you look at this, first grade,
There still is.
Louie, I'm going to ask you to move your magnet down. Please just put that away.
You still see it.
No, but it doesn't matter if it's erased.
You can see the 20.
Just put it away, Louie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go move your magnet. I asked for that to be away a long, long time ago. Okay, so we have, it grows, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Think about our math and geometry. We've been talking about 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional shapes. Does the moon look anything like any of those shapes? I like the hands. Helen, which part looks like a sphere? Go on up and point to it. Which part?
That's a circle, not a sphere.
Which
We
part?
only see one side, that's why it looks like a circle.
Helen, go on up. Which part looks like a sphere? Yes, and Anthony, will you say what you were saying?
Circle.
He says it looks like a circle, not a sphere, but then Megan, what'd you say?
That's because we can only see one
We can only see one side of it.